Unreal. Bill Bennett was the nation's very first drug czar, and he now hosts the Bill Bennett Show podcast. He's also a Fox News contributor and a frequent guest of ours here on The Story. It's good to see you tonight, Bill. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Martha.
I mean, there's so many levels of how shocking this story is. You've got, last year, 51,000 people died. The projection for 2017 is 71,000. I know two people who lost sons, son and a nephew. I don't think anybody in America has not been touched by this, Bill.
Right. This is arguably the deadliest criminal enterprise in the history of the United States. And I say criminal enterprise. I know all the fuss has been over the last week or so about pill mills, and there are pill mills, and there have been pill mills, and there was overprescribing, but that is not the nature of the hardest part of the problem now. The hardest part of the problem now, and the most prevalent part of the problem, and the part that is killing the most people, is the availability of illegal drugs, not legal drugs diverted, but illegal drugs, fentanyl and heroin. And it's killing people at those rates, many more than all the names that we see at the Vietnam Memorial. And we have got to get on this in a very serious way.
You know, it feels like a lot of people are saying that, but I don't know how real the war against this is. And you fought a war on drugs as the first drug czar of America. What's your advice to the next drug czar? And, you know, I guess there's potential that your name is even on that list as well again.
No, I have people write and ask me, but no, that's not a job for me, not anymore. But there are several people, I have names that I'm passing on. But I think whoever gets the job can do something. Do what we did. I don't mean me particularly, but the whole country, what we did then. I heard a Fox contributor just a couple hours ago say the war on drugs was a failure. It was not, it was not, it was not. From 1979 to 1992, Martha, we got illegal drug use down in this country by more than 50%. This was a function of advertising. You remember the drugs off the diving board into an empty swimming pool, fried eggs on drugs. Local law enforcement, teachers, ministers, priests, rabbis, advocacy from the federal government, what President Bush did. We took this thing to the bad guys in South America, and we worked on all fronts. And because of that, we got this problem down. Now, if you get any problem down, teenage pregnancy, homelessness, desertion by more than 50%, I don't think you call it a failure, and it can be done again. But we have to recognize the problem for what it is.
I mean, that, you know, heroin across the border, fentanyl is as you point out, a very serious problem. But I don't agree with you that there isn't still a problem with prescriptions, because you can have very minor surgery. You can have your wisdom teeth taken out, like my daughter did, and get sent home with a bottle of these things, 30 of them in a bottle, you know, to a 20-year-old. I think that's insane. I mean, you know, try Advil, and if you really have a problem, give us a call, and maybe we'll give you one or two of these. But there is absolutely a flood of these painkillers in the market, and they're sitting around in people's homes, and people are getting their hands on them, and that's the route that many people take that then leads to heroin.
It may have been the original cause, and there is still too much out there. That's what parents are for. That's what you're there for. And they overdiagnose or overprescribe. You've got to act, and that is still going on. I don't deny that. But that is not the bulk of the problem. Take a look at the medical examiner reports, the death reports by state, and see what the cause of death is. And you will see it's not for the most part anymore. It is still some. Yes, you're right, Martha, the diversion of legal drugs. It is for the most part these illegal drugs. There's no reason we can't get after all of this problem at once. We can get after the places that are distributing too many of these pills, and we can get after the Chinese and the Mexicans and the people who are sending this stuff in.
Well,
but we've got to be serious. We were serious in 89, 90, 91. We pushed back. When this country pushes back and is serious, it's very hard to stop.
Well, when you've got optometrists who can dispense painkillers like this, and when all they're doing is reading an eye chart, and that happens in 10 states in this country, there's a lot of levels to this problem to talk about, and you've touched on so many of them. Bill, as always, it's good to see you tonight. Come back and talk about it more with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
As always, pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You too.